Let me guess. You're over 50 and overweight. Your body hurts, it aches. Maybe you're not sleeping very good at night. Maybe you even have to use a CPAP machine. And in your gut, you know that you're like one dish of ice cream away from developing diabetes, and it's scaring the living crap out of you. And you just know that you know that you know that you need to make a change. You just haven't done it yet. Well, today I'm going to share with you 3 stories of 3 guys who should have made a change a long time ago and how you don't want to be like them and why you need to start the carnivore diet right now. What do you say that we just jump into the conversation? Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason. If we've never ever met before, I bet I'm no different than you. I'm just an average, everyday guy. I'm a middle-class guy. I'm a middle-aged guy. That's what I meant to say. I'm over 50. And, I was that guy that I kind of talked about in the description section that I was like one dish of ice cream away from probably being diabetic or pre-diabetic. That was me. And I was having some things happen in my life that were kind of scaring me into making some changes. And well, I want to tell you a story today of 3 friends of mine. We're going to call them Larry, Curly, and Mo for the sake of anonymity. And the way they were living honestly scared the bejesus out of me. And well, they should you too. Maybe enough to even make some changes if you're just watching this video today going, I wonder if this carnivore diet thing is for me. Well, listen to the stories of Larry, Curly, and Mo, and then at the end of the video, you decide, do you need to make some changes? And oh, by the way, if you understand that reference of Larry, Curly, and Mo, say Larry, Curly, and Mo down in the description section below, and I'll get that you get it. So anyway, let's tell the stories. Larry is not old enough to be my dad, but he's much older than me. Let me say that. Larry's in his mid to late 70s, and Larry was happily married for many, many years, well over 50 years. But his wife passed away just a few years ago. But let me tell you the story, not of his wife, but of him and how he came to be as he is. And Larry was a big guy, is a big guy, and Larry made me look small. Larry was mobile, but he was having a harder time getting around. And Larry liked to eat. And he had no problem shoving the food into his body. He couldn't eat as much as he used to because he was older and the like, and that happens and everything, but he was just having problems with mobility. And the older he got, the worse it got because he was so big. And he had that condition where his legs just held onto fluid. I think it's called edema, but I could be wrong. If you know, let me know down in the description section below. But no matter what the doctors did, they could not get that swelling off of his legs. They put compression socks on him, and they would wrap ace bandages around him. And his shoes, he could never have them tied up. And it was never really good. And well, one day, Larry lost his balance and down he went. A really bad fall, and they had to take him to the ER. Well, it was so bad that they had to transport him to a different hospital, and they put him in the ICU where he was for almost 2 weeks, y'all. And in that time, they had him hooked up to IVs and medications and different types of medications and fluids. And in any event, they had to drain the fluid from his body while pumping fluids into him to get rid of the bad and put in the good. And he lost over 100 pounds just laying in a hospital bed. But you would never know it by looking at him. Well, then it was time for him to rehab because they needed him to get up and walk. If he wanted any chance of getting his life back, he had to get up and walk. And so they started rehabbing. But he just didn't have that want to get up and really move. I mean, he did it, but he didn't do so willingly. All he did was complain about it. Yet he'd say he wanted to go home and see his wife. But did he? Did he have the motivation to make a change? I don't think so. Because a couple weeks later, he ended up in a swing bed. He ended up in a nursing home. And guess what? That's now his permanent home. For 6 months, he was on the government dole and he was rehabbing on the government dole, but he never, ever had the motivation to do anything about it. He never really gave it a good, go, if that makes sense. Larry was being like me. He was being a stooge about his health. Well, as things happened, as life happened, Larry's wife passed away while he was there in the nursing home. He never ever got to go home to his wife or to the home that he loved. That nursing home is now his home. An 8x10 room is now his permanent home where he has to eat nursing home food every single day, and they could care less about catering to making him healthy again. Right? He eats what he eats. And he's certainly not getting any healthier. He still has swelling on his legs. They have to do stuff to get that swelling off his legs. He's got to be on water pills and on this and that. He's got to wear a diaper. He's permanently in a wheelchair now. His life is not what it used to be, and it's certainly what he doesn't want it to be. all because he was a stooge about his health. That was Larry. Let me tell you about another friend. We're going to call him Curly. And this guy kind of would act like Curly too. Kind of looked like him. And in any event, that Curly's a little bit younger than Larry. Oops, excuse me. I'm swatting my mic. Let me take a slurp here. And excuse me if you hear my dog woofing downstairs. He's being annoying today. Anyway, Curly is a little bit younger than Larry. He's in his 70s. And you would look at him and you would say that he is in far worse health condition than Larry. He's not in a wheelchair per se, but he's got one of those motorized scooters that he's constantly on. He doesn't walk anymore. It's not that he can't, he just won't. And he's constantly on oxygen. He's hooked up to oxygen 24/7. He's a diabetic, but he doesn't seem to care about his diabetes because he shovels in the desserts and the sweets and the ice creams and you name it, he shovels it in like there's no tomorrow. He's on more medication than he can shake a stick at. He is so unhealthy. They had to take away his driver's license because his medical conditions caused him to blank out one day where he got into a car accident right in front of our house. We saw the whole thing happen. He blanked out because his body was so unhealthy that he lost consciousness. And so they had to take away his car and his driver's license. And whoop, there goes some of your quality of life, right? Larry's now permanently living in the nursing home. And Curly, well, he lives in public housing, but he doesn't have a car. He can't get around. And his life is miserable. He doesn't get out at all. He really doesn't have any friends. And he's cranky and he's unhealthy all the time. And the only thing he does is ever complain about his health. He's been such a stooge and a boob about his health. And I'd look at him, and when I would see him, and I'm saying, my gosh, if I don't make a change, I'm going to end up just like him. And it gave me a little bit of a scare. And then we moved. I got a friend nearby. We're going to call him Mo. Mo is a little bit older than I am. He's old enough to be my brother. We could be siblings. We're close enough in age. He's bigger than I am. He's certainly far more unhealthy than I am. Now, he works a couple jobs. He's very mobile. He can get around. He's certainly got a good appetite, got a great sense of humor, lovely wife, and a lovely mom. But he's pretty unhealthy. And he complains a lot about his health. And he said that, he just doesn't feel good anymore. And that his legs hurt and his body hurts. And that he's got to use a CPAP machine because he just can't breathe well at night. And he just doesn't sleep well at night. And I know he's either diabetic or pre-diabetic, yet he shovels in the dessert like there's no tomorrow. And one day he asked me, why would you ever want to do that carnivore diet? I mentioned that in another video. And I told him, because I don't want to die and be put into an early grave. I got to make some changes now. And the only thing he laughed and he said, oh, I could never do that. And I jokingly said, no, you probably couldn't. It's not that he can't, he just won't. He's being a stooge about his health. Like I used to be. I used to be a stooge about my health. I was being like Larry, Moe, and Curly, for example. Yeah, whatever, the Three Stooges, you know what I mean, right? I'm tripping over my tongue. I guess I need another sip. And that's what my buddies have been doing. They've been acting like a bunch of stooges, like Three Stooges with their health. It's not that they can't make a change. It's just that they wouldn't make a change or won't make a change. And therefore, they have now suffered all these medical conditions. One who's in a nursing home and he can't walk anymore because he has no strength in his legs. And now he's got no home to go to because his wife passed away and his kids sold the home. So the nursing home is now his home. The other guy is permanently hooked up to oxygen. He'll probably never ever walk again. He's got nobody in his life. He's got no vehicle and no way to get around. And he's constantly miserable because his body hurts and he's in such bad health. And then there's my other friend, that's who's here. And if he doesn't take control of his health now, he's going to end up like either Larry or Curly, because he's being kind of a stooge too. And that's the way I used to be. And I'll be honest, the way these guys live scared the crap out of me enough to where I would say, Jason, if you don't make a change, you're going to end up like Larry, Curly, and Moe. And I don't want that to happen to you. So do what I did. Check out the carnivore diet. Start the carnivore diet. Start keto. Start something. Do something. Get up and move. Change the way you're eating. Whatever it is, make a change now before it's too late. Start the carnivore diet now before it's too late. And maybe like me, you'll have some successes. Yeah, I've lost 35 to 40 pounds in like the last 9 to 10 weeks. I'm feeling good. I'm sleeping good. My clothes is getting too big. My attitude is just, I feel vibrant every single day. And you could have that too. You just gotta choose to make a choice. You just gotta choose and make a choice. You gotta choose a new you. Does that make sense? Choose not to be a stooge. Choose to be a new you. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. I hope this video was encouraging and uplifting, and hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and let YouTube algorithm pass it along so other people can watch it and so the channel can grow. And speaking of channels growing, if you have not already, if you're new here or whatever and you're liking this content, smash that subscribe button right now and join the Holy Carnivore community. And let me encourage you and let you encourage me. Let's encourage each other together. Does that sound good? And say on your way out, there's going to be a video that's going to pop up here and one over here. Go ahead and binge them. Do some binge watching, and I'll see you again right back here on Holy Carnivore. Till I get to see you again. Goodbye.